Welcome back to our Women in Leadership series, proudly presented by Cub and Dove. I'm your host, Jen Halverson, and today I'm joined by Jennifer Bingle. Bingle is a leadership and development coach for Strength Solutions and has had a prominent role in the University of Minnesota's WILL initiative, WILL standing for Women Invested in Leadership and Learning. Bingle helps create educational content for the program, which now has more than 300 female student athletes involved today. Thank you for being here today, Jennifer.
Absolutely. It's great to be here.
Oh, what challenges have you faced professionally as you've moved through your career, and how did you overcome them?
Jen, I would say it's the same answer. It's being different. Sometimes people think different is wrong, or they think different isn't a good fit. And so I've definitely had my fair share of being excluded or rejected for an opportunity or a role. Certainly starting your own company, you're going to face some challenges and some solo uphill battles. But at the end of the day, I guess having a foundation as an athlete, it kind of prepares you. You win some, you lose some, but hopefully when you lose, you learn something. So things like rejection or being misunderstood or rejected, like they're not to sound cliche, but they really are opportunities to learn from. You adjust, re-strategize, and then go back at it.
That's great. Now, you've had a huge role in the recent development, really, of the WILL initiative, Women Invested in Leadership and Learning at the University of Minnesota, and the educational side and putting together different sessions for female student athletes. How have you seen it make a difference in the women who've been involved in the program?
Oh, I tell you, I've seen it make a personal difference, sometimes behind the scenes. Sometimes when there's a program or there's information offered, in a public sort of platform, you kind of see student athletes or people go through the motions. But I've really seen WILL play a huge role in helping women behind the scenes when they reach out to me or they're looking for a mentor to connect with. Those places of vulnerability, like I need help, because leaders, standouts, star athletes, like they need help too. And so I think it's that network of support that student athletes know they have behind the scenes. That's been probably one of the best things that I take away from WILL is knowing the impact sometimes that doesn't get filmed or showcased. It's what happens behind the scenes.
Definitely. That's really cool. Knowing what you know now and having all this, different experience over the years, what would you tell your younger self if you could give her some advice?
Whoa, I would tell her a lot. Tell her a lot. I guess the first thing I would tell her is it's okay to have do less days. I was one of those people. I was just going hard. I was going 100 miles an hour. And it was very hard for me to learn how to stop or be okay with those rest days or those days where I wasn't just running through walls. It took me a while to figure out that ebb and flow of working hard and then resting well. So I would tell her it's okay to do less on some days. And I would also tell my younger self to go for it. Yeah, it took me a while to launch my own company. And in hindsight, I could have started it 10 years earlier. But I guess everything happens for a reason. But if I could tell my younger self, I'd say, go for it. And in doing so, learn that balance of working hard and resting well.
Great. That's really cool, Jennifer. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Women in Leadership. I feel like we've learned so much, and I really appreciate your insights. It was really interesting and fun to get to know you and hear your story.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to Dove and Cub for their support of the Women in Leadership series.